Welcome to Freaky Fauna Friday, where every Friday we take a little time and explore some of the freaks of nature from around the planet we cherish so deeply. So please, jump aboard and let's explore the wilds together. Hello, and welcome back to the Freaky Fauna Fridays. I'm the great and powerful Mr. E.
And I'm Jay.
And it's funny that we've never discussed, like, before an episode, how we always start this so gently.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of like one of those unspoken things.
We just do it.
So, Cryptozocorn Studio is about to enter on the main show, the season finale stage and season opener stage. So that show takes up a lot of time getting to this stage. So this will be the last episode until the first week of August of Freaky Fauna. Just letting you guys know, because it's like the whole studio is going to take the same break.
Right.
And you'll still, like, on the main show, you'll still be getting a few little treats here and there, but everything will be back the first week of August.
Mm-hmm.
Anything to add?
Just hold on to your horses and enjoy your weekend. And
I wasn't ready for the pun.
What? Hold on to your horses? Wait, what pun? What pun did I sneak in there?
With today's topic.
Oh yes,
You made it on purpose.
It wasn't even on purpose,
But it made me laugh.
It's like divine intervention.
Do you know? So I know this is really not the right show, but do you know what are the key ingredients in the COVID-19 vaccine?
Is it baby liver?
It's horseshoe crab blood.
What?
Yeah,
No.
I'm not joking.
What?
We're going to talk about one of the most valuable substances on the planet.
Horseshoe crab blood.
Yeah, because they're like 400 and something million years old. Their blood's bright, like neon blue and super copper rich. But let's talk about horseshoe crabs are unique sea creatures that have roamed for hundreds of millions of years. They're called this because they have a horseshoe crab, or they have a horseshoe-like appearance in their unique blood. They are not crabs.
Yeah, I was
They're way older than anything else that even kind of looks like a crab. They get called crabs because they're an arthropod. They have a big shell, and their front arms are kind of like pinchers of a crab.
Yeah.
So, like, for most people, they're just like, that's the closest thing they look like. But horseshoe crab's blood is collected by medical field experts for certain things. The blood of these sea animals may not be something that is typically on your mind, but these small arthropods have a unique ability flowing through their veins. Horseshoe crab's blood has an immune impact on the medical field and the lives around the world. Believe it or not, their blood is even a part of the COVID-19 vaccine efforts. And yeah, it's just, we don't go any more of that. I'm just saying that they have put the blood in COVID-19.
Wow.
So what makes horseshoe crab blood stand out? For starters, the blood of these animals is actually a light blue or even neon blue in color. Horseshoe crab blood is specific copper color, so that's what's given it the blue color.
Okay.
But why do horseshoe crabs have blue blood? The reason is interesting is the level of copper in the animal's blood. Copper is carrying their hemotin, a protein which is used for transporting oxygen. The copper in their blood is exposed to oxygen as a result of its unusual color. So like our blood turns red when exposed to oxygen, their blood turns bright blue.
Oh, wow. Wait, if ours turns red, what is it before it's exposed to oxygen?
Iron. Our blood is extremely iron rich.
Which means it's still red, right?
Kind of. It's like our blood can be like, it's not blue. It's not red. It's kind of like a deeper color until it hits air.
Okay.
Not an expert on the human body. I just know I treat mine like poo. Where was I? Now, in addition to the color of the horseshoe crab's blood, it is also special due to its animal's prehistoric traits. Horseshoe crabs can be caught and collected for their blood's antimoebates. The sea creature has been around for so many millions of years. It still contains some types of prehistoric blood cells, amoebiotates, something like that.
Wow.
I'm not very good at pronouncing these things. Amoebiotates in the horseshoe crabs make them known as limbless amoebates lyslates.
Okay, yeah.
LALs.
I don't think I understood a word.
Neither did I.
You just spoke in the
So
past.
LALs. Basically, LALs are what we're going to talk about. That's the acronym for them. It's something that's only found in horseshoe crabs because they are so freaking ancient and
Old, yeah.
unchanged.
Yeah.
They're the same species of horseshoe crab has been fossilized for hundreds of millions of years.
That's probably why they call them crabs, because they're like, well, everything turns to crabs eventually. This thing
Technically,
is like,
everything turns into horseshoe crabs.
I guess so.
Yeah, crabs are just have a better PR person. LALs have a very powerful ability to clot. However, the clotting only occurs when it comes in contact with bacterial toxins. Sorry. In other words, the horseshoe crab's blood can detect the presence of toxins, and as a result, the blood is used to ensure medical equipment and other tools are in fact sterile. So they're using this in the medical facilities. They're draining these creatures' blood to use to make sure that these highly sterile instruments are actually sterile.
Okay.
Because their blood is better than any machine at telling whether something's sterile or not. Because the second that any kind of bacterial or any other kind of toxins or pathogens touch it, it clots.
Interesting. That's what okay. Different show.
So, for example, horseshoe crab's blood can be used to check for the safety of pharmaceuticals, vaccines, prosthetics, and other tools used in the medical field.
I'm still perplexed how this would help in a vaccine. I don't know.
I didn't dive into that too fully.
Okay, but yeah, we won't. This is just freaky fauna.
Yeah.
Wow. The very versatile creature with a lot of uses.
There's even more.
Okay.
Due to the fact that the sea creature's blood has been used for around half a century, it has been part of the development of many vaccines like the measles vaccine. Horseshoe crab's blood can even help with common medical devices like IVs and implant safety. Their blood is in the step. However, horseshoe crab blood has stepped up to the plate yet again with the COVID-19 vaccine. Horseshoe crab's blood is used in every year to meet their requirements, although within the immediate use of such large sums of vaccines to combat new COVID or coronaviruses, it's much higher demand for this liquid. This has become you want to guess how much this is? A gallon?
A gallon? Oh my gosh. Well, okay.
It's the most valuable organic liquid on the planet.
And I was going to say, and if the medical field's using it, that means the price is going to go skyrocket super way high because, especially in America. So let's see here. Per gallon, let's say it's about like $350 per gallon.
$60,000 to $150,000 per gallon.
I'm literally speechless. What?
So everybody, if you haven't seen a video, I'm done reading. If you haven't seen their video of these, they're also used for drug tests. Their blood is used for all kinds of amazing things. But if you haven't seen the farms, so they're wild horseshoe crabs. They're not farmed technically.
Okay.
But they have these beaches where the people go out and collect them. They all have little numbers on their shells so they don't get over harvested.
Okay.
So they don't kill these animals because they don't reproduce very fast.
So they just drain their blood and put them back out?
Like donating blood.
Okay.
They take a very limited amount of blood from each animal. Each animal has a number. Each animal gets fed. And then, so they go out and they pick up the animals. And they're like, okay, I have 318 here.
Right.
And when it was 318 last harvested from, if it's more than X weeks ago, it's fine to reharvest. If it's not, put her back.
Give them a treat and go back.
Yeah. So when they take them into the lab's on the beach where they harvest it. It's literally they're out of the water for a very short period of time. They can handle being out of the water. They actually breed outside of the water.
Yeah.
They go onto the beach and spawn in the sand.
Okay.
And so they go, that's why they're on the beach and they go back in the water.
Okay.
Anyway, so they're fine being out of the water for a little period of time. Most arthropods, they can internally hold and stuff like that. They put them in these little vices, and they look like they're broken. They almost fold them over because it's the same joint that they have in their shell, though. That's how they flip back over.
Okay.
If they turn upside down, they have this special joint that allows them to kind of turn their body and hop back the right side up.
Okay.
So they use that joint though, and there's their spine. Well, not their spine. Their central vein, basically. They tap into that, drain the amount of blood they're getting off them. It literally looks like glow stick goo because it's neon blue.
Yeah.
And then once it's done, they make sure it stops. And they put them in a water slide that goes up to 900 meters out of the facility back to the open ocean.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's fun.
So they get immediately, nobody's carrying it back out there.
They get jettisoned right back to the ocean.
They go right back to the ocean.
Yeah. That's neat.
And they're very conscious. Horseshoe crabs are protected everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't think there's very many countries that are found in that they're being eaten still. But I know in the U.S. they're pretty much protected everywhere.
Well, now I know why, like hospital bills and stuff are so expensive. When you have a bill like that on your backhand, you got to cover.
There is a little so they do drain about nearly a third of their blood each time.
Dang.
And there is a death rate for this, for this procedure.
Practice.
Some years it's as low as like 3%, but it's been as high as 30%.
Oh, that's a lot.
And they think it's due to bacterial infections in the ocean and such. Like animals just die after.
Or them snatching them out of the ocean, put them in a vice and shoving a thing and pulling out their blood.
But they do have really good conservation efforts because they're being used to make money.
Right, absolutely.
But they need to be healthy and alive,
right,
for them to make money, to make the things to make money.
Right.
They got to be. That's a very good thing for an animal. If you're like, yeah, I only make this stuff while I'm alive and happy.
Yeah.
Guess what?
You better make me alive and happy, or keep me alive and keep me happy.
Any questions so far?
No, not yet.
So the harvested blood is transported to blood collection facilities. Specifically, these animals are typically transported on boat to very warm temperatures. Additionally, they can be kept out in the open for long periods of time and may not able to breathe as a result of lack of the water. So yeah, there is a little bit of risk with this stuff. The bleeding process is shown to the female horseshoe crabs may have weakened ability or lost ability to reproduce. There's more research being going into this. It's a fine line they're trying to walk. Specifically, though, there's about 550,000 horseshoe crabs are caught and bled every year.
550,000?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
But, so keep in mind, if they're having a loss of 10 to 30% that year,
that's a lot.
That's 55 to 165,000 animals dying in this event. So this is something that needs to be watched. Without these sea creatures, life or any other animals in their ecosystems would be affected. Not to mention, without horseshoe crabs, the medical industry could face some very difficult challenges that they became very reliant on for these things. As mentioned above, many dangers of the bleeding process actually occur during transport. So there's still sea animals,
right,
moving them on, picking them up, taking them out, and all that stuff. It would be beneficial if the animals were already, or it would be very unbeneficial if the animals were already unhealthy and increase the risk of dying from the blood loss. So they try to keep track of those guys. But yeah,
that's really interesting, though. But yeah, I guess
there are some alternative uses than the horseshoe crab LAL. There's other compounds that can be used.
Okay,
first off, they're not as good, and they're a lot harder to make.
What do you mean?
So they're synthetics.
Okay.
They're not as good.
Oh, instead of the blood.
They're not as good.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Never
a lot
is.
harder to make.
Never is, exactly, yeah. You never want to put, human-made synthetic reproduction products, especially if it's in a medical field, in my personal opinion.
So there's a lot of fighting over this, like, for the safety of the horseshoe crabs.
Right, yeah. Especially if you're killing 150,000 of them.
A year.
Like, yeah, kind of a problem there, fellas.
I don't know these numbers. Here's my thing. Would more than 150,000 die a year if they weren't having such strong protection from nets and targeting and eating and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Are they having a safer population density because they're being used for this thing? I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
I don't know.
I'm sure it's got its benefits in some aspects, but I'm sure at the same
they are very
thing,
well monitored.
Right. Yeah.
We know. I know how many are dying to the individual pretty much.
Right.
Because they're all numbered.
Right.
It'd be like, imagine we were doing this with polar bears or something like that. Where they're numbered. They're tagged. They're being watched almost daily.
Shoved into a vice and extract a polar bear. Imagine that.
It'd probably be easier.
It'd be a big, big, big vice. Very big.
It'd be like a cow shoot.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, it's not like that. We have that thing. We have the thing made for it.
It's true.
Just put it in the cow chute.
Yeah, for cows. Now,
how big do you think a polar bear is?
I guess I don't know. I just imagine they're big.
They're like 2,000 pounds.
That's a
cow.
A death or an animal focused on mauling you that's as heavy as a car.
A cow.
Well, yeah, but a cow don't have big claws and
got horns
and a thirst for your flesh.
No, they both do.
Well,
cows both do.
Cows do, but in a different way.
I know a farmer that got trampled by a cow he loved.
Right. See, that was indifferent. That's more this.
No, it ran over to trample him.
Well, yeah, but it was more reactionary rather than I want to eat you.
No, it's like he finally fell. I'm going to kill him.
I'm ready for him. Yeah. He probably, I don't know.
See,
Cows.
at least a polar bear just wants to eat you.
Yeah, it just wants your flesh and its
Cow
stomach.
just wants you to be dead.
Well, yeah, you know, you could
That's
be a
different.
threat.
It's
Be a
evil.
threat.
It's evil.
Evil. Cows are evil. Polar bears are not.
I've never trusted cows.
Oh, it says a lot about you.
Yeah, that I'm smart.
Oh, yeah, I have no idea what it means.
Cows kill more people than vending machines and sharks combined every year.
But do they kill more than coconuts falling on
Oh,
people?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
By a lot. It's like 3 or 4,000 people a year die from cows trampling to death.
People need to just watch out for them bovine creatures. I don't know.
No, so there's a lot. Like I said, they're used for some drug tests. They're used for like all kinds of stuff.
That's so weird, though. Who was the first person that figured this out? That's what I
No
wanna
idea.
know.
I should have looked it up.
I
was really
don't think
busy
we'll
on
know.
other scripts.
I'm pretty sure it's probably, I don't know. I mean, how does someone, look at this weird prehistoric bug-looking thing on the ocean. You know what? It would be, we should extract its blood, and inject it into our
When I eat
bodies.
it, this thing tastes like pennies.
yeah, yeah.
Their eyes are fused on top of their shells, though.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a freaky fact.
Yeah, they're really weird. Their stingers aren't like, they call them stingers. Their tails aren't really like super sharp. They're more used to flip them back over in the tides.
Okay.
They can like put them up like a defense thing. You really got to work to get stabbed by one though.
One of these, yeah. That would be the worst. That would just, I wouldn't want that on my obituary.
I don't think they could kill you.
Stab.
I think your ribs would break their spines before they get to like one of your internal organs.
Oh, really? I mean, there's still vulnerable parts in the human body, though.
I mean, you'd have to literally be picking this thing up and stabbing yourself with it.
It stabs you in the eye and like right to your brain. I don't know. Is that possible? I think that's possible.
Yeah, that's possible. Sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
so
there's
is
the
falling
way.
on a mouse a certain way.
Huh?
So is falling on a mouse a certain way.
Exactly.
You know, there's always that possibility.
You could fall and just crack your head on its shell. I don't know.
Now that's probably the way you die.
Exactly. That would be embarrassing.
So horseshoe crabs. Do you want me to tell you my family's fun story with it before we go?
Oh yeah.
Dad was in Florida. We were out Indian Head Beach, I believe, Indian Sands Beach, something like that. That's a super, like, we got a really good deal on this hotel because it's like a stupid expensive area. And my parents, so Dad listens to this show. We didn't have a lot of money, but we always had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So Mom had worked this out to where we got to stay at this place. It was awesome. That's where Grandma got stuck on her wheelchair, like in her electric scooter in the ocean. Because Dad's like, don't go too close, and she just wanted to feel the ocean one more time.
Yeah.
So she just went in. Twice. Anyway. So Mom was like, there was like these kids carrying conch shells out.
Okay.
So big snail shells.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
They were carrying these conches out.
Were the conches still in them?
No, most of the time they
Okay.
were empty. I think the beach there were signs for it that saying like they had to be empty to be harvested.
Okay.
They're protected.
Right. Yeah. I thought so.
There's two types of conches. One's really protected. One you can still harvest with a fishing license.
Oh, okay.
But it's like you got to be able to tell them apart.
Yeah.
Anyways, what was I saying? So they were bringing these conch shells out, and these kids were selling them on the beach, and they were like asking like $100 for them and stuff like that. But people were buying them. We're in a pretty rich area. Mom really wanted one, really, really bad, but we weren't going to buy it. So Dad is scared of the ocean. Dad is not a very good swimmer. He goes out to where these kids are going to get these, and they are going really far out.
Yeah.
They're like not touching like 15, 16, 17 feet of water diving.
Jeez.
So Dad goes a little shallower than that, and he thinks he has the scuba mask on, and he thinks he sees one. And he swims down to grab it, and it's kind of buried in the sand, and he grabs it, and it starts fighting, and starts kicking, and like you can hear his screams above the water. People like the lifeguards started calling people out for shark attack. People thought he was getting ripped apart by a shark.
Is he screaming?
Was screaming and like tossing bubbles and all this stuff, and it was just. And then he comes up and everybody's out of the water panicking. He's like, "What happened?"
Yeah.
He's like, it was a horseshoe crab. Like I just didn't know it was a horseshoe crab, but it freaked me out when I picked it up and it started fighting back.
Yeah. So he didn't get it.
No,
back?
he didn't get it.
Okay. Dang it.
He left it at the bottom of the ocean.
I was hoping he'd come back up.
No,
once he
everybody on the beach was just like freaked out
Yeah.
because everybody thought somebody was getting murdered by a shark.
And then that's why I was hoping he'd come up with like a horseshoe grab over his head, and everyone's just like, that's what's attacking you? That'd have been funny.
But yeah, so that's my horseshoe crab story.
Horseshoe crab is very
We
interesting.
may have to revisit this when I have more time to look into more of the the facts behind it.
Well, I mean, there's a lot going on. There's a lot I just learned now that I had no idea was even going on.
I don't know. This may be a Daniel Wilbur episode for
very well
the
could
conspiracy, the medical industry bleeding nature dry.
Very well could be, because it was raising a lot of questions for me.
All right. Once again, guys, not back till the first week of April, that first Friday. August. Yeah, the first week of April.
The other A month.
No, first week of August. I believe it's like the 6th. The first Friday is like the 6th, if I'm not mistaken.
Something like that, yeah.
But yeah, so be patient. We'll be back with some more exciting stuff. We just got to get through the season finale and the season opener for Cryptids of the Corn.
It's a very busy summer.
Like, yeah, oh yeah. And then the documentary is filmed.
Yeah.
For the most part, we took out 2 more scenes to go as of recording this.
Right.
They should be done by the time you guys hear this. Maybe.
Yes.
All right, I've been the great and powerful Mr. E.
And I've been Jay.
Enjoy the summer. Go kayaking. Go tubing.
Yeah.
Tubing's my favorite thing.
Just get in a river.
Because I'm an alcoholic. And tubing is the easiest thing you can do and get really inebriated.
It requires no paddling.
As long as you go to a nice river, go
Right.
tubing. Don't do it in the Hocking like me and Nick did the one time and got stuck.
On that lake or whatever.
Yeah, no, because it was flooded.
Right,
And we got
yeah.
stuck in a floodplain,
Yeah.
and we didn't move. We went like a mile in like 5 hours.
And you didn't know.
We ran out of alcohol so fast,
Yeah, that would be bad.
and it's just like we had 5 hours of dry tubing.
Yeah, that's not fun either.
All right, enjoy your weekend, enjoy your summer, have fun with your family, get out there,
Smell a flower.
pet a quail.
Brush. Let the wind blow through your hair.
All right, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Freaky Fauna Friday. If you want to help the podcast grow, remember to share and give it a 5-star review.